everyone, I'm Emma. Like, share, and subscribe now.
Hey, I'm Jackson. Let's continue today's topic.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today. If you're watching this, I want you to know you're already doing something great just by showing up and choosing to learn.
Hey, welcome! It's always such a good feeling when we start a new episode. And today's topic is really special. I think a lot of you are going to feel like we're talking directly to you.
Yes. Before we started recording, I was thinking about this topic and I actually felt a little emotional because I know this feeling personally. I've been there, and I know so many of our listeners have been there too.
Exactly. So let's get into it. Today's topic is something that millions of English learners around the world deal with, and nobody talks about it enough. The topic is this. You've been studying English for years. You understand a lot. You can read, you can listen, but the moment someone asks you to speak, you freeze. You go blank. The words just don't come out.
Does that sound familiar? I'm guessing for a lot of you, the answer is yes. And today, we're going to talk about why that happens and, more importantly, what you can actually do about it. By the end of this episode, you'll understand the real reasons behind this problem, and you'll have some clear, practical steps to start speaking more confidently.
And here's a question for you right now. Write your answer in the comments. How many years have you been studying English? 2 years? 5 years? 10? Write it down. We really want to know, and it's going to be interesting to see everyone's answers.
Yes, please comment. We read every single one. And while you're here, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to Simple English Talks. We post new episodes every week, and we don't want you to miss a single one.
Okay, let's stop waiting and get into this. Because I think once you understand what's really going on, you're going to feel a lot better and a lot more ready to change things.
All right, so let's start with the big question. Why can you understand English? Watching movies, reading articles, listening to podcasts like this one, but still struggle to speak? What's going on?
This is such an important question, and the answer might surprise you. It's not because you're bad at English. It's not because you don't know enough vocabulary, and it's definitely not because you're not smart enough. The real reason is simpler, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense once you hear it.
Here it is. Understanding a language and producing a language are two completely different skills. They use different parts of your brain. They require different kinds of practice. Just because you've trained one doesn't mean the other one is ready.
Think of it this way. Imagine you've watched thousands of hours of professional football. You know all the rules. You understand every move. You can predict what the players will do. But does that mean you can go on the field and play? No. Watching and doing are completely different things.
That's such a perfect example. It's the same with language. Listening and reading are called passive skills. You receive the language. But speaking is an active skill. You have to produce the language yourself, in real time, under pressure. And that is hard. That takes a different kind of training.
So if you've spent most of your English study time reading textbooks, watching videos, or doing grammar exercises, you've been training your passive skills. Those are valuable, but your speaking muscle hasn't had much exercise. It's still weak. Not because you're not smart, but because you haven't used it enough.
Now, here's something I want you to think about. When you learned to walk as a baby, nobody gave you a textbook. Nobody said, first, study the theory of walking, then take a quiz, and only then try to stand up. You just tried. You fell. You tried again. That's how physical skills work.
And speaking It's more like a physical skill than a mental one. Your mouth has to learn how to form sounds. Your brain has to learn how to find words fast. Your confidence has to grow through practice, not through studying. This is why some people who've never taken a formal class can speak well. And some people with years of classes still can't hold a conversation.
So, the first thing I want you to take away from today is this. You're not broken. You haven't wasted your time. You've built a strong foundation. But now, it's time to start training the speaking part. And that's what the rest of today's episode is about.
Before we move on, quick question for you. Think about your English practice right now. How much of it involves actually speaking or producing language? Be honest with yourself.
Write it in the comments.
Do you practice speaking every day, once a week, or almost never? There's no wrong answer. We just want you to think about it.
Great. So now that we understand why this happens, let's talk about the first big reason speaking feels so hard and what to do about it.
Exactly. The passive skills are trained. Now it's time to build the active ones. Keep that in mind as we go through the next sections.
So we know that speaking is a separate skill that needs its own practice. But there's another layer to this. Even when people try to practice speaking, something stops them. And that something is fear.
This is so real. I think almost every language learner knows this feeling. You open your mouth to say something, and suddenly your mind goes completely blank. Or you start a sentence and then you don't know how to finish it. Or you're so afraid of making a mistake that you just don't say anything at all.
Yes. And the fear isn't just about making mistakes. It's about what people will think. Will they laugh? Will they judge me? Will they think I'm not intelligent? These thoughts happen so fast and they're so powerful that they completely shut down your ability to speak.
There's actually a name for this. It's called language anxiety. And studies show it's one of the biggest barriers to speaking a second language. It's not a personality problem, it's not weakness, it's incredibly common.
Now, let me tell you something interesting. Perfectionism makes this so much worse. A lot of English learners, especially ones who are good students, who care deeply about doing things right, they set an impossibly high standard for themselves. They think, I can only speak when I can say it perfectly. But that moment never comes, and so they never speak.
Right. And here's the cruel irony. The only way to get better at speaking is to speak imperfectly. Every fluent speaker you admire made thousands of mistakes to get there. Every single one. The mistake is not the problem. Avoiding the mistake is the problem.
So, what can you do about the fear? First, change what you think a mistake means. A mistake is not failure. A mistake is information. It tells you what to work on next. Native speakers make mistakes too, in every conversation.
Second, start practicing in low-pressure situations. Don't begin by trying to have a conversation with a native speaker at work or in a formal setting. Start by talking to yourself. Seriously, talk to yourself in English at home. Narrate what you're doing. I'm making coffee. I'm adding sugar. The coffee smells good. Nobody is judging you. No pressure.
And third, find speaking partners who are also learners. When you talk to another learner, both of you understand the struggle. Both of you are patient. Both of you know that imperfect English is still communication. It's a great way to build confidence before moving to more challenging conversations.
Here's a practice prompt for you right now. I want you to say this sentence out loud wherever you are. I'm learning English, and I'm getting better every day. Say it out loud. Don't just read it, say it. How did that feel? Write in the comments. Did you say it? Did it feel strange? Did it feel okay?
We want to hear from you. And remember, saying it out loud, even alone, is real practice. Don't underestimate it.
So to review this section, fear and perfectionism are real and powerful obstacles, but they can be managed. Change your relationship with mistakes. Start in low-pressure settings. Build up gradually. Your confidence will grow, not before you speak, but because you speak.
So we've talked about why speaking is a separate skill and why fear gets in the way. Now let's get practical. What does good speaking practice actually look like? Because I think a lot of learners don't really know.
This is important because some people think speaking practice just means finding a native speaker to chat with. And yes, that's valuable, but it's not the only way. And for many learners, it's too scary to start with. There are other methods that work really well, especially in the beginning.
Let me share a few. The first one is called shadowing. This is where you listen to a short piece of English, maybe a clip from a show, a podcast, or a YouTube video, and you repeat exactly what you hear at the same speed, trying to match the sounds, rhythm, and tone. You're not just repeating words, you're training your mouth to move the way English requires.
Shadowing is amazing for pronunciation and fluency. You don't have to think about what to say. The words are given to you. You just have to produce them. It's like training wheels for speaking. And it works. Athletes talk about muscle memory. Shadowing builds muscle memory for speaking English.
The second method is self-talk or monologue practice. Choose a topic, anything, and just talk about it in English for 1 minute. Set a timer. Don't stop. Don't worry about mistakes. Just keep going. Talk about your morning, your favorite food, a movie you watched, your job, anything.
This is harder than it sounds. Most people last about 15 seconds before they run out of words and stop. But that's okay. That's where you are now. With practice, you'll last 30 seconds, then a minute, then 5 minutes. The growth is real and it's fast.
The third method is structured conversation, but with a plan. Before you have a conversation, prepare. Think about the topic. Learn 5 to 10 words you might need. Practice a few sentences out loud beforehand. Then go into the conversation. You won't need the exact sentences you practiced, but the preparation calms your brain and gives you something to hold on to.
And here's a tip about tone and delivery, something that doesn't get talked about enough. When you speak English, you don't have to sound like a newsreader. Real conversational English is relaxed. It's connected. Words blend together. I'm going to sounds like I'm gonna. What do you sounds like whatcha. Don't be afraid of that. It's not bad English. It's real English.
Here's a little interactive moment for us. I'm going to say a sentence, and you say it back out loud with me. Ready? I don't know what to say sometimes, but I keep trying anyway. Say it. Out loud. Own those words, because they're true, and they're beautiful.
Wonderful. I love that. And it's true. Keeping going when it's hard is exactly what builds fluency. Speaking practice doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be with a real person at first. It just has to happen. Every day, a little bit. That consistency is everything.
So let me ask you, which of these 3 methods do you think would work best for you? Shadowing, self-talk, or structured preparation? Write it in the comments. Or maybe you already use one of these. Tell us.
To wrap up this section, real speaking practice has many forms. Shadowing, self-talk, and prepared conversation are all powerful tools. The key is to produce language, not just consume it. Every minute you spend producing English is building something that no amount of reading or listening alone can build.
Now, let's talk about mistakes. And I don't mean mistakes in your English. I mean mistakes in how people approach speaking practice. Because sometimes the way we try to improve is actually slowing us down.
Oh yes, and I'll be honest, I've made some of these myself, so no judgment here. These are patterns that make total sense when you're in them, but once you see them clearly, you can change them.
Mistake number 1, waiting until you're ready to speak. This is the biggest one. So many learners say, I'll start speaking when my vocabulary is bigger, or when my grammar is better, or when I feel more confident. But the confidence doesn't come before the speaking. It comes from the speaking. There is no magic level of readiness. You have to start now.
The correct approach is speak now, improve as you go, not improve until you're perfect, then speak. You'll never feel ready if you wait to feel ready. And that's not pessimistic. It's just how skill building works.
Mistake number 2, translating in your head. A lot of learners think in their first language and then try to translate everything into English before they speak. This is so slow and so tiring, and it produces very unnatural English because languages don't map onto each other perfectly.
The goal is to start thinking directly in English. That takes time and it takes practice. But you can speed it up by narrating your daily life in English, even just in your head. When you're cooking, think in English. When you're walking to the bus, think in English. When you're shopping, say the names of things in English. This builds the habit of English thinking.
Mistake number 3, only practicing alone and never with real people. Yes, self-practice is essential, especially in the beginning. But at some point, you have to practice with real humans because conversations are unpredictable. A real person will say something unexpected. They'll speak fast, they'll change the topic, and you have to respond. You can't prepare for all of that. You can only get comfortable with it by doing it.
The good news is, most people are kind. Most people who see someone trying to speak a second language are impressed, not judgmental. The fear is bigger in your head than in reality. So start small. A short exchange with a shopkeeper, a friendly comment online in English, a conversation with a fellow learner. Real interaction, however small.
And mistake number 4, giving up after a bad experience. You try to speak. Someone doesn't understand you, or you forget a word, or you feel embarrassed. And you think, see? I knew I wasn't ready. I'm just not good at this. And you stop trying.
Don't let one bad moment define your journey. Every speaker has had awkward, embarrassing, confusing language moments. Every single one. Those moments are not the end. They're part of the story. The only people who never have those moments are people who never try. And you're trying. That already puts you ahead.
So remember, start before you're ready, think in English, practice with real people, and don't let one hard moment stop you. You've got this.
Seriously, you've got this. Every day is a new chance to try again. And every time you try, you're building something real.
All right, let's do some practice together. This is one of my favorite parts of the episode. I'm going to give you a few situations, and for each one, there are 2 options. Your job is to choose the one that will actually help you improve your speaking. Ready?
And please, say your answers out loud. Don't just think them. Say them. That's part of the practice.
Situation 1. You want to improve your English speaking. Option A, you read a grammar textbook for 1 hour. Option B, you talk to yourself in English about your day for 10 minutes. Which one helps your speaking more?
Option B, right? Reading grammar has value, but it doesn't train your speaking muscle. 10 minutes of actual speaking practice will do more for your fluency than an hour of passive reading. Speaking practice means speaking.
Situation 2. You made a mistake in a conversation and the other person had to ask you to repeat yourself. Option A, you feel embarrassed, apologize too much, and decide to avoid speaking English for a while. Option B, you smile, try again with simpler words, and keep going. Which is better?
Option B, absolutely. Miscommunication happens in every language, even between native speakers. You adjust, you try again, you keep the conversation moving. That's what fluency actually looks like. Not perfect sentences, but successful communication.
Situation 3. You want to start speaking practice, but you're scared. Option A, you wait until you're more confident. Option B, you start today with the lowest pressure option you can think of. Talking to yourself, shadowing a YouTube video, texting a friend in English. What do you choose?
Option B, always. Because confidence is the result of doing, not the requirement for doing. Start small, start today, and the confidence will follow.
Now here's your challenge for this week. Every day, for just 5 minutes, speak English out loud. Talk about your day. Describe what you see around you. Tell a story to no one. It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is that you say it. Can you commit to 5 minutes a day? Write, "I'll do it" in the comments if you're in.
And if you miss a day, no problem. Just start again the next day. There's no perfect streak required here. The goal is progress, not perfection. A little English every day adds up to something incredible over time. Trust the process.
Wow, what an episode. I really feel like we covered something that so many of you have been carrying around for a long time. So let's take a moment to go over what we learned today.
Yes, let's recap the 3 main ideas. Number 1, understanding English and speaking English are different skills. One doesn't automatically become the other. You have to practice speaking separately and actively. Number 2, fear and perfectionism are common obstacles, but they can be overcome. You don't need to be perfect to communicate. You need to be brave enough to try. Number 3, real speaking practice has many forms: shadowing, self-talk, structured preparation, and conversations with real people. The key is to produce language, not just consume it.
And here's the most important thing I want you to take away today. You are not behind. You are not broken. You have not wasted your time. Everything you've studied has given you a foundation, a real one. And now you're starting a new chapter, the speaking chapter, and it is going to change everything.
Here's something I'd love for you to reflect on. Think about why you want to speak English. Not just for my job or to pass a test, but really, deeply. Why? Is it to connect with people? To travel with confidence? To feel free in conversations? To give your children a better future? Hold on to that reason. On the hard days, that's what will keep you going.
Now, a few things from us before we go. If this episode helped you, please give it a like. It really helps Simple English Talks reach more learners who need to hear this. Share it with a friend who's been studying English for years and still struggles to speak. They need to hear this too. And subscribe to Simple English Talks so you never miss an episode. We have so much more coming.
And please, please leave a comment. Tell us how long you've been learning English. Tell us what your biggest fear is when it comes to speaking. Tell us if you're going to try the 5-minute daily speaking challenge. We read everything. Your words matter to us, and your progress matters to us.
We are rooting for you so hard, every single one of you. You're already doing the work. You're already showing up. That's not nothing. That's everything. Keep going.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us at Simple English Talks. You've got this, and we'll be right here every step of the way. See you next time.